Alright guys, welcome back to Formula 1 News. Quick video today on the fate of Mick Schumacher in Formula 1. Despite seeming to turn a corner lately in his Formula 1 career, scoring points in back-to-back races just a couple of races ago and seeming like he was a new driver in essence halfway through his second season at this level of the sport, rumours are circulating that Haas do not want him to continue in the team next year. With the Aston Martin seat now off the table, is it possible that Mick Schumacher is not in Formula 1 next season? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Yes, in terms of the numbers, Kevin Magnussen has slightly more points, but in terms of race results, I think Schumacher actually maybe has a slight advantage, at least in terms of race finishes. Yes, Magnussen has generally outqualified his teammates, but recently it does seem like Mick Schumacher has turned something of a corner. I think both what he's done in Formula 3 and in Formula 2, his first season in both categories didn't go so well, but then into his second season about halfway through the year, he just became God mode, right? And it almost seemed like he did a similar thing this year after his performance in Silverstone, then into Austria, was that driving like his old man at times. But apparently for quite some time, Haas haven't been so happy with Mick Schumacher. I think he got this kind of reputation as the crash kid of the grid, like back in Monaco, right, when he had that crash, and there's a few other instances as well, of course, already this season. Lately, a different story, but that might not be enough for Haas to change their mind on the direction they might necessarily want to go. So this came out during the discussion about Riccardo and Oscar Piastri, because Piastri, to our understanding, is going to take Riccardo's seat at McLaren. McLaren, of course, will get rid of Riccardo, send him probably to Alpine. But if Alpine go for a different driver, then there could be still other seats available on the grid if Riccardo wanted to step into, for example, the Haas. It was mentioned here in this Autosport article. Riccardo, meanwhile, is clearly high on the list of possible replacements for Alonso, but Haas could also be an option if, as expected, Mick Schumacher leaves. So I've seen a few things about this the last couple of weeks or so, but nothing quite as blunt as this in an article that says, yes, Mick Schumacher is expected to be gone from Haas next year. Although in theory, Ferrari has a claim on who takes the seats. This is kind of the discussion there about Ferrari, the fact that Schumacher is part of the Ferrari driver program or driver school, whatever they call it. There were rumours that he wanted to leave that actually, potentially to join Aston Martin. Of course, that seat is long gone, with Alonso taking it from Vettel, even though he was actually Vettel's recommendation to take that seat. Alonso snuck in very quickly indeed. Now, it does seem like Mick Schumacher is keen to show everyone like what he can do in an actual competitive car, and at times the last couple of races he's done exactly that. But since his success in Silverstone and Austria hasn't been so good for really Haas in general, and in fairness, right, it's like, you know, Magnussen got the upgrade package, Schumacher has not got it yet, and it's not like the performance there has been drastically different regardless, so I think he's still doing a solid job. But apparently the team do want to move him on, and that article was pretty blunt in saying, look, it's expected that Mick Schumacher is going to be gone. So there's still some questions about what this potentially means for the future. Where could Mick Schumacher go? Because, I mean, look, the Ferrari seat is not going to be available anytime soon. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, they're going to stay there for at least a couple more seasons as that pairing. And with the Aston Martin seats gone, if Haas were to get rid of Mick Schumacher, then where would he even go, right? Are there any other seats actually available out there right now? I mean, if the Alpine seat is taken by Riccardo and then Mick Schumacher, you know, he doesn't really want to go to Williams, right? Like, what's the point in doing that? So it is a bit of a strange situation. I think the other side of this, though, of course, is the fact that Haas Ferrari are like, well, that's a partnership and a relationship that they have. Theoretically, Ferrari as kind of the engine provider, the gearbox provider, like and very close partners of Haas, could well have a say in what they decide to do. And they might say Ferrari, like, look, we want you to keep Mick Schumacher around. But apparently, they're not so keen, Haas, on exactly listening to to their higher ups at Ferrari, you could argue, because supposedly Haas have now, put the contract talks on hold with Mick Schumacher, because I think they were considering re-signing him, but now the Aston Martin door is closed. They're now like, okay, yeah, we're not going to say anything, like, let's just leave it for a few months here, consider our options, and then maybe re-sign you later on down the line, depending on how he performs over the next few races. So yeah, it might be a stressful time for Mick Schumacher here, not knowing his future in Formula 1. And this also a quote to finish out here from Günther Steiner, being very straightforward and honest as per usual, saying, look, we never decide the driver before the summer break, and we will not do so this year. Obviously, I will start to speak with Gene Haas over the summer break, and then you know how we do it. You will ask again at the next race in Europe, and then we will tell you sometime at the end of September or October what we are doing, and the same will be happening this year, hopefully, right? So they're saying, look, we're not in a hurry to decide anything. We've not confirmed at all that it's going to be Mick. It could still be him if he performs well the next few races, but they're not going to decide anything yet. And I think there was also a statement that said, look, Ferrari have their say, but, we can kind of still do our own thing to a certain degree. So, I mean, yeah, if they want to get rid of him, they probably can, unless Ferrari really put up a big fight about keeping him as the reserve driver somewhere or whatever the case might be. But yeah, far from guaranteed, at least as it stands right now, the Mick Schumacher will be on the grid next season. Would be a surprise, but if Haas do go for another option, are there really any seats out there that Mick could possibly take up? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.